Good afternoon. This is Akashvani and I'm Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi raises concern over incidents of attacks on temples and activities of pro-Khalistani elements with his Australian counterpart. Australia offers strong support for India's permanent membership to UN Security Council. Home Minister Amit Shah says new Parliament building will be a symbol of self-reliant India and centre for fulfilling hopes and aspirations of all Indians. RBI Governor Shaktikant Das says the entire process of withdrawal of 2,000 rupee notes will be non-disruptive and Reserve Bank has been monitoring situation regularly. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians to take on Lucknow Super Giants in Eliminator in Chennai this evening. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has raised India's concerns with his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese over incidents of attacks on temples and activities of pro-Khalistani elements in Australia. Mr. Modi raised the issue during his wide-ranging talks with Mr. Albanese in Sydney today. In a joint press statement after the meeting, Mr. Modi said he had discussion with his Australian counterparts in the past on the issue of attack on temples in Australia and activities of separatist elements. Mr. Modi said Prime Minister Albanese has assured him once again that he will take strict actions against such elements in the future also.
ऑस्ट्रेलिया में मंदिरों पर होने वाले हमलों और अलगाववादी तत्वों की गतिविधियों के संबंध में हमने पहले भी बात की थी और आज भी हमने बात की है। भारत और ऑस्ट्रेलिया के सौहार्दपूर्ण रिश्तों को कोई भी तत्व अपने विचारों या अपने एक्शन से आघात पहुंचाए, ये हमें स्वीकार्य नहीं है। प्रधानमंत्री अल्बनीजी ने इस संदर्भ में जो कदम उठाए हैं, मैं इसके लिए उनको धन्यवाद देता हूं। साथ ही उन्होंने मुझे एक बार फिर आश्वस्त किया है कि वो ऐसे तत्वों के विरुद्ध सख्त एक्शन लेते रहेंगे।
Prime Minister Modi said the India-Australia ties are based on mutual trust and confidence.
भारत ऑस्ट्रेलिया संबंधों का परिप्रेक्ष्य केवल हमारे दो देशों तक सीमित नहीं है। यह क्षेत्रीय स्थिरता, शांति और विश्व कल्याण से भी जुड़ा है। कुछ दिन पहले प्रधानमंत्री अल्बनीज के साथ हिरोशिमा में क्वाड समिट में हमने इंडो पैसिफिक पर भी चर्चा की। भारत ऑस्ट्रेलिया सहयोग ग्लोबल साउथ की प्रगति में भी लाभकारी हो सकते हैं। वसुधैव कुटुंबकम की भारतीय परंपरा जो पूरी दुनिया को एक परिवार के रूप में देखती है, भारत की G20 प्रेसिडेंसी का मूल मंत्र है।
Mr. Modi said they had constructive discussion on strengthening strategic cooperation in mining and critical minerals.
माइनिंग और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स के क्षेत्र में अपने स्ट्रेटेजिक सहयोग को आगे बढ़ाने पर सकारात्मक चर्चा हुई। रिन्यूएबल ऊर्जा में सहयोग के लिए हमने ठोस एरियाज की पहचान की। ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन पर एक टास्क फोर्स के गठन का निर्णय लिया। कल ऑस्ट्रेलियाई सीईओ से विभिन्न एरियाज में निवेश को लेकर मेरी उपयोगी बात हुई और आज मैं बिजनेस राउंड टेबल में ट्रेड, इन्वेस्टमेंट तथा टेक्नोलॉजी सहयोग पर बात करूंगा।
Mr. Modi added that the discussion was held on taking India-Australia comprehensive strategic partnership to new heights. Mr. Modi invited Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and all Australian cricket fans to India for the Cricket World Cup this year. Foreign Secretary Vinay Quatra said that Australia offers strong support for India's permanent membership to the UN Security Council. Addressing media in Sydney, Mr. Quatra informed that the Prime Minister and his Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese also discussed a wide range of global and regional issues, including India-Australia cooperation in terms of benefiting the countries of Global South, Quad, Russia-Ukraine conflict and reform of the UN Security Council.
our cooperation with Australia can be synergetic in a manner that is beneficial to the countries of the Pacific, which are of course countries of the Global South also. On the UN Security Council reform, there was a very clear articulation during the discussion that of a strong support for the permanent membership of India to the UN Security Council, and generally also the need for reform of the UN system, including Security Council, which obviously we all know doesn't reflect the contemporary realities of today's world.
Home Minister Amit Shah has said that the new Parliament building will be a symbol of a self-reliant India and a centre for fulfilling hopes and aspirations of all Indians. In a tweet, he said, the Modi government is engaged with full devotion and dedication in empowering the poor and deprived sections of the country, and the new Parliament House will be a witness to its commitment to this resolution. Mr. Shah said, the Parliament House is the centre of our faith and democracy, which reminds us of the value of freedom and its struggle, and also motivates us for national service. Briefing media in New Delhi today, he said Prime Minister Narendra Modi will install a historic golden scepter called Sengol near the Lok Sabha Speaker's seat while dedicating the newly constructed Parliament building to the nation on Sunday.
हमारी सरकार का मानना है कि इस पवित्र सेंगोल को किसी संग्रहालय में रखना अनुचित है। सेंगोल की स्थापना के लिए संसद के भवन से अधिक उपयुक्त और पवित्र और उचित स्थान कोई हो ही नहीं सकता। इसलिए जब संसद भवन का देश को समर्पण होगा, उसी दिन आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी बड़ी विनम्रता के साथ तमिलनाडु से आए हुए अधिनियम से सेंगोल को स्वीकार करेंगे और अत्यंत आदरपूर्वक माननीय लोकसभा के अध्यक्ष के आसन के समीप सम्मान के साथ इसको स्थापित करेंगे.
This spectre was used on 14th of August 1947 by the first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru when the transfer of power took place from the British to the Indians. Sengol is a Tamil word which means full of wealth, and this spectre symbolizes virtual and ethical rule. Sengol, measuring 5 feet, is a masterpiece of Indian art with rich workmanship from top to bottom. It has been brought from a museum in Allahabad. Mr. Shah said this is an exceptional moment to connect to the country's cultural heritage, history, tradition and civilization with New India. The minister said the new Parliament building is an example of the Prime Minister's far-sightedness. He informed that on the day of inauguration, Mr. Modi will also honour around 60,000 workers who built the new Parliament building in a record time. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur and Union Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy were also present. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts. President Draupadi Murmu reached Birsa Munda Airport in Ranchi after her visit to Devghar today morning. She was welcomed by Governor C.P. Radhakrishnan and Chief Minister Hemant Soren at Ranchi. Earlier today, the President had offered prayers for the well-being of the citizens of the country at Baba Baidyanath Dham Temple in Devghar, one of the 12 Jyotirling in India. More from our correspondent.
President Draupadi Murmu today was accorded a warm welcome at Devghar Airport on her arrival. She is the fourth president to offer prayers at Baba Baidyanath Dham Temple. Meanwhile, Union Law Minister Arjun Meghwal today in Devghar announced that the construction work of Tagore Cultural Complex worth ₹24 crores will begin soon. The president is on a 3-day visit to Jharkhand to inaugurate the newly built greenfield building of High Court of Jharkhand. She will also preside the second convocation ceremony of IIIT Ranchi in Namkum. Shilpi, Akashvani News, Ranchi.
Union Minister of State for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Bharti Praveen Pawar today addressed the delegates at the second meeting of the G20 Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group in Mumbai. The Union Minister highlighted the need to create and invest in responsive and resilient infrastructure. More than 120 delegated from G20 member countries, invited nations, international organizations and important Indian key stakeholders, including the National Disaster Management Authority, Ministry of External Affairs and others, are attending this meeting in Mumbai. More from our correspondent.
In her address, Union Minister Dr. Bharti Pawar said that the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted the need for emergency preparedness to be at the core of various development and finance policies. She further said that we need to make sure that our healthcare systems are able to withstand the impact of future disasters. Dr. Pawar added that financing disaster risk reduction requires a multi-sector and multi-dimensional approach. On the sidelines, Dr. Pawar inaugurated an exhibition showcasing BMC's disaster management measures. Prarthana, Akashvani News, Mumbai.
The Reserve Bank Governor Shaktikant Das stressed that the entire process of withdrawal of 2,000 rupee notes will be non-disruptive. Mr. Das said the central bank has been monitoring the situation regularly. Speaking at an event in New Delhi, Mr. Das said it will not be a surprise if the GDP growth of last year comes above 7%.
The estimates are that it will be 7%. But there is a possibility that it could be even more. The data will come at the end of this month. According to all the recent trends, it will not be a surprise if the GDP growth of last year comes slightly above 7%.
Mr. Das added, the central bank derives confidence at this point of time from the fact that agriculture has done well, and assuming a normal monsoon, services sector will continue to perform very well. As the Narendra Modi government is completing 9 years in office this month, Akashvani News brings a series of special stories on the initiatives taken by the government. India received 6.19 million foreign tourist arrivals during 2022 as compared to 1.52 million during the same period of 2021. The Ministry of Tourism has provided an enriching tourism experience to visitors in a planned and phased manner under various schemes. A report.
The central government has taken several initiatives to give boost to the tourism sector in the country by launching Dekho Apna Desh Capacity Building for Service Providers Scheme, Incredible India Tourist Facilitator Certification Program, and Pilgrimage Rejuvenation and Spiritual Heritage Augmentation Drive Prasad. On the recommendation of the Ministry of Tourism, 59 tourism routes have been awarded to the identified airlines by the Ministry of Civil Aviation under the RCS Udan scheme. In order to boost visitor arrival, government has declared Incredible India Visit India Year 2023. G20 meetings are being also held at 55 destinations throughout the country. The number of domestic tourists has visited places of pilgrimage was 1,433 million in 2022, while 6.64 million foreign tourists visited India in this period. In 2021, the number stood at 677 million and 1.05 million respectively. Ministry of Tourism has approved a total number of 45 projects in the country under Prasad scheme so far, which was launched in 2014-15. The scheme focused on developing and identifying pilgrimage sites across India for enriching the religious tourism experience. Sanjeev Sharma, Akashvani News, Bhopal.
In Indian Premier League, Mumbai Indians will lock horns with Lucknow Super Giants in the Eliminator at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium, Chennai tonight at 7:30 p.m. The team that emerges victorious in this game will secure a spot in the second qualifier against Gujarat Titans at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad on Friday. The team that suffers a defeat will be directly eliminated from the tournament. Yesterday, Chennai Super Kings reached a record extending 10th final, beating Gujarat Titans by 15 runs in qualifier 1 match at the M.A. Chidambaram Stadium in Chennai. The key domestic share indices today witnessed modest losses in the afternoon trade. The BSE Sensex was trading below 61,900 points, while the NSE Nifty was trading near 18,300 mark. Both stocks fell amid negative cues from global markets. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi raises concern over incidents of attacks on temples and activities of pro-Khalistani elements with his Australian counterpart. Australia offers strong support for India's permanent membership to UN Security Council. Home Minister Amit Shah says new parliament building will be a symbol of self-reliant India and centre for fulfilling hopes and aspirations of all Indians. RBI Governor Shaktikant Das says the entire process of withdrawal of 2,000 rupee notes will be non-disruptive, and Reserve Bank has been monitoring situation regularly. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians to take on Lucknow Super Giants in Eliminator in Chennai this evening. And with that, we end the midday news.